Whispers Beneath the Pines, a Canadian forest horror story. I didn't believe in ghost stories, not until the forest started whispering my name. It started last fall. I was traveling solo through British Columbia, backpacking across the Pacific Northwest, documenting forgotten trails, photographing old-growth forests, and sleeping beneath a canopy of stars. I'd done it before. I wasn't new to isolation, but something about this particular stretch of woodland near Mount Robson felt wrong. The locals in Valemount had been unusually tight-lipped when I asked about old trails, except for one man, thin, sallow-faced, running the night shift at a gas station just outside town. He leaned close over the counter and whispered, "Don't take the trail behind Carson's Ridge. That part of the woods doesn't grow right anymore. Things get lost out there. People, too." I thought it was a joke, small-town superstition. I smiled, nodded, thanked him, and ignored the warning. I had gear, GPS, a survival kit, but none of it mattered. The first few miles were ordinary, pines stretching skyward like spires, a thick carpet of moss underfoot. The trail was old but visible, barely. Occasionally, I'd see rusted trail markers nailed to trees, long since overtaken by bark. But the deeper I went, the quieter it got. No bird song, no squirrels, not even the low buzz of flies. Just the occasional crunch of my boots and the sound of my own breathing. It didn't feel peaceful. It felt watched. I camped that first night in a small clearing. The fire wouldn't catch. My lighter worked fine, but the wood, no matter how dry, hissed and spat like it didn't want to burn. Eventually, I gave up and crawled into my tent. That night, I dreamed of a man whispering behind a tree. I couldn't see his face, but I knew he was smiling. His mouth was far too wide. By the second day, the trail had vanished. Literally just gone, swallowed beneath ferns and vines. My GPS insisted I was still heading north, but every direction looked the same. Endless, suffocating green. I pushed on, but the ground grew strange, soft like a sponge. The trees looked twisted, branches arched unnaturally, like they were trying to reach me. Then, through the mist, I saw it. A cabin. Old, sunken, its walls covered in moss and ivy. The roof sagged like it was sighing. One window was broken, the glass jagged like teeth. I approached slowly, heart pounding. It didn't feel abandoned. It felt forgotten. A rusted horseshoe hung above the door. The nails holding it in were bent, almost like something had tried to tear it off. And as I reached for the handle, the door opened on its own. The smell hit me first. Sweet, rotting, like a bouquet left too long in a grave. Inside was dark. Dust floated in the air like ash. An old cot sat in the corner, its sheets still tucked. A faded photo was nailed to the wall, a man and a boy standing in front of the same cabin, smiling. The boy's eyes were scratched out. I should have left right then, but the sky had turned black, and rain pounded the roof like drumming fingers. I stayed. I didn't sleep. I lay there, eyes wide open, heart thudding as the wind moaned through the walls. At some point, I must have dozed off, and that's when I heard it. Not the wind. A whisper. Not outside. Inside the room with me. Liam. It wasn't loud. It was worse. Soft, intimate, like someone was leaning inches from my ear. I bolted outside into the cold. My flashlight barely worked. The trees towered above me, and in the fog, their shapes looked twisted, inhuman. Then I saw the footprints, bare, human, circling the cabin in uneven loops. They weren't mine. They hadn't been there before. I followed them a few feet, but they stopped, mid-stride, like the person had vanished into thin air. I spun around and saw nothing, but I felt it, the pressure of a gaze, a presence in the trees, watching, waiting. The next morning, I tried to find my way out. I walked for 6 hours. No trail, no creek, just the same trees, same bent branches, same whispers. Some so faint I thought they were in my head, others too clear to ignore. A woman sobbing, a child giggling, my name again and again. I saw faces between the trees, pale, thin, bark-skinned, no eyes, only mouths, the hollow ones. They don't speak aloud. They don't need to. The forest speaks for them. They don't move while you're watching, but blink, and they're closer, close enough to touch. On the 3rd day, I found something hidden beneath the cabin floor. A journal, leather-bound, water-damaged, written in shaky cursive. My name is Thomas Blanchard. I came here in 1972. I thought I could map the forgotten trails, but I forgot myself instead. They come when you know their names, but they stay when you forget your own. He kept writing even as his sentences unraveled. The last few pages were filled with the same phrase over and over. There is no outside, only trees, only teeth. And on the final page, if you're reading this, it's already too late. I haven't seen the sun in days. My phone is dead, my food is gone. I tried carving marks into trees to track my path, but every morning, the bark is smooth again. The forest heals. The forest remembers. And now I don't. I forget things. Where I came from. How long I've been here. My last name. All I know is the whispering, the endless whispering, and the sound of bare feet on pine needles, just outside my reach. If you find this message, if it somehow reaches the outside, don't come for me. Burn this forest from your memory. Burn every map with Carson's Ridge on it. Forget the name Liam. Forget the name Thomas. Because once you know their names, they start to whisper yours, and they never stop.